It's a rule of the universe. No matter how careful we are, we end up with too much stuff. Let's fix that and earn some extra money this September to meet our money goals. It's a Sell Stuff September challenge. Let's do it. Hi friends, I'm Sarah, also known as Budget Girl here on the internet, and I actually pride myself in being very intentional in my spending and in trying to buy things that I need and love and use. But I'm human, and sometimes I make mistakes. I'll find something that's free or a good deal and won't be able to pass it up and bring it home, or I'll find something that I think that would be perfect for something and it ends up not working out. Or maybe I'll buy an article of clothing that seems like it would fit my stage of life perfectly, and then for some reason it doesn't, and it'll end up sitting in my closet for months or years. I've done Sell Stuff September challenges before on my channel, and I might have made it up, I don't know. I did this several years ago and it was just fantastic. When I was getting out of debt, it was like finding money laying around my home that I was able to then throw at debt without it really costing me anything, except my home feeling lighter and cleaner and fresher and less cluttered, which is also a huge win. I love my stuff. I picked it all out after all. Everything you can see. This girl is responsible, good or bad. But things that I once liked or even loved may no longer be serving me, and they may just be taking up space in my life and could be better utilized by someone else. Sell Stuff September is a strike force challenge that allows you to see a real difference in your home and make some money fast. If you commit to it, you will vastly improve your space this month and earn some money to put towards your goals. And the best part, it takes hardly any time. Here are the rules. 1, every week of September, take a little bit of time, 10 to 30 minutes, and go around your house and pull things that you know are no longer serving you, that you're not using, that you're not loving, that are just taking up space. Your brain knows what I'm talking about, and when you lay eyes on those things, it will recognize them. A good rule of thumb, if you haven't used it in a year and you won't be using it in the next year, get rid of it. Also, get rid of stuff for an aspirational version of you. For instance, more than once I have tried on a fancy sequined dress. I have no reason or occasion, and never have, to wear a fancy sequin dress. Also, if you've ever worn a sequin dress, you know that it chafes and hurts wherever you touch it with bare skin, and there's no reason for me to own one. Fortunately, I have recognized that in my brain and have not bought one, but if I had, probably on clearance, because there are very few people who need a fancy sequin dress, this would be a perfect time for me to get rid of it, seeing as I would have never worn it and had no future occasion to wear it at. Just let it go. This is a perfect time to kind of release yourself of things guilt-free. Also, heels. I can get rid of all of those. I don't know who I'm kidding with them. Rule number 2, pick a place in your home that is kind of in the way. I'm not talking about your dinner table or something like that, but maybe your desk in your office or somewhere where you will see this stuff every single day of your life and it will remind you that it needs to go. Rule number 3, take photos of the item as soon as you pull it from wherever it is in your home, and then put the item in the pile. This will trick your brain, because by taking photos of the item, you've already put some work into the act of selling it, and you're less likely to pull it back out of the pile. Also, once you have the photos, you have no excuses to list them. Rule number 4, use the platforms that make sense to sell the items and list them as soon as possible. If maybe on a Saturday or Sunday, you go through your home, purge a bunch of stuff, picture it, stick it in the pile, and then Monday on your lunch break or right after work, you have some time, list those items wherever it makes sense. Here are the platforms that work for me and what items I've listed on with success before. Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist for furniture. eBay for collectibles, camera equipment, other things that might be worth something to kind of a niche audience, but not necessarily someone locally. Bookscatter.com for books and Amazon for textbooks. For clothing, post in Facebook brand specific groups. For instance, I've bought and sold things in like a Torrid buy sell trade thing on Facebook before, or Poshmark if you already use that platform. Pro tip, only sell clothing individually if it's kind of a recognizable brand name or something that someone would be searching for. For other clothes that are like kind of generic brand names or you know isn't necessarily going to sell easily, consider selling those in batch at a local clothing resale store like a Plato's Closet. You won't get as much out of them, but it's a batch. Second pro tip, don't sell stuff to ThredUp. They will give you pennies off of the items that you send in. It's a good place to buy clothes on the cheap, but a terrible place to be a seller. And then for entertainment, you can go to your local GameStop or resale store. Once again, you're going to get a little less for these items than if you listed them individually online, but you can judge for yourself whether you want kind of the headache of trying to list those things if you have a lot of them individually, or maybe you list like the ones that are most worth something online and then you bring kind of the older, worth less stuff in bulk to like the GameStop to just get them out of your house, get a little bit of cash. Rule number 5, sell the stuff. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and warn you, this is the only bad part of this. Often you're gonna have to deal with like Facebook Marketplace lowballers or people who want you to like drive an item an hour away for the chance for them to buy it or to just give it away to them. You are the seller, ideally listing things at prices that will move and not necessarily that are really haggleable, like you're not asking more than something is worth or sells for locally, and you can just search something. You know, if you're selling a chair, you can look see how much similar chairs are selling for. Don't be the person that's selling like a $400 chair on Marketplace. You're not gonna get that. List it to sell to get out of your house. You're not necessarily trying to recoup whatever you paid for the item. You're just trying to get a little bit back and purge yourself of that item that's no longer serving you. I've also learned that pricing things fairly or even just a little low will move things fast and I won't have to sit on items, and it's really satisfying to just have things like sell immediately. You can get them out of the way. It kind of encourages you to keep going and do more because you're not sitting on a bunch of stuff or having to negotiate with a lot of people. Arrange for buyers to come to you at your convenience. I often do porch pickup. Actually, I will get my address. I will just leave it outside my door in a box and tell them to leave the money under the mat. You may or may not be comfortable with this. I have never had someone not pay with this. I do only do this with kind of like low-end items. I'm not gonna put like a $200 DSLR camera out in a box outside my door and expect someone to like leave that much money. They're probably just gonna come steal it. But for lower items, you're probably fine on that, but do what you're comfortable with. And don't let people like make you go to the ends of the earth to sell something. No, no. Then you're gonna make more loops through your house, continuing through the weeks of the month. You're gonna go back through the same places you did before, your closets, everything, and you're gonna see items that you skipped over the last time, and you still know that you could probably part with that. Go ahead, pick up those items, photograph them, put them in the sell pile, list them. Keep selling, repeat until October. And the final rule, number 7. Once you have put something in the pile, it does not go back into your home. You have to get it out of your house by the end of September, even if that means giving it away or donating it. You've already decided that this is an item that is not serving you in your life and isn't adding to anything but the clutter in your home. Do not put it back in your house, and don't let that you paid for it get in the way of you getting rid of it. If you find some summer dresses and it's winter and Plato's Closet isn't taking summer dresses right now, go ahead and give them away or donate them. It will better serve you away from you and at someone else's house than it will continuing to sit in your closet for another year and you knowing that you're not going to wear it and don't want it. This is a month of ruthless improvement. So here's some things that I'm getting rid of that will hopefully inspire you or give you ideas. Number 1, this camera and associated lenses from my journalism days. I wish that this camera would translate to YouTube, but the way that the screen flips down makes it impossible for me to see what's going on, and I would end up shooting an entire video out of focus, and I can't handle losing any more footage. Or having to reshoot videos like one more time. It happens too often already. So I've had this obviously for the 2 years that I've been out of journalism, and I'm not using it. I need to get rid of it. It needs to go. It's like in the back of my brain. I know it needs to go, and that is money sitting in my house that I could be putting at my new house fund. Also, at this point, I've waited so long that it has depreciated even further. If I'd sold it 2 years ago, I'd get a lot more money for it than I will now, but it still needs to go. Second item, this Caddy Buddy teleprompter. It's a universal teleprompter, but I upgraded to one that screws onto a DSLR and is much smaller and lighter and it's less of a pain in my ass, so it needs to go. Number 3, magazines. I got like a free subscription for a year, and I never read them. I always think that I'm going to read them, and I don't. I will probably just either pitch them or donate them. Number 4, I'm gonna go through my closet and donate all the old sneakers that I'm hoarding, or pitch them. I know there are programs that will take older sneakers that are in good conditions, and I'm also going to get rid of all the clothes that are on hangers facing backwards that I put that way more than a year ago and I still haven't worn. Next, I'm getting rid of this bread maker, which was actually a gift from a subscriber back in Mina. I think I had mentioned at one point that I was gonna try making my own bread, and it was the nicest, most selfless gift, and I think it was actually like the first gift of that nature that I'd gotten on YouTube, and it absolutely warmed my heart, and I tried baking in it probably a dozen times, and it's just not for me. I ruin it every time, and it's not the bread maker's fault. I suck. And I've been hanging on to it for longer because it was a gift, and it was something that I really treasured, but I treasure the act of the gift more than the item itself. So I hope nobody thinks that I'm selfish or something for getting rid of it, but it's taking up space in my home. I've moved with it 3 times. I even tried pulling it out again and using it recently, and the bread didn't cook all the way through, and it ended up being a waste of ingredients. And also, I don't even eat that much bread anymore because the doctor would prefer I didn't. So I'm gonna sell it. I'm gonna get rid of it. I hope it serves someone else and that I'll sell it for a really good deal, and I will treasure the memories that some amazing subscriber gave it to me. I'm also going to get rid of some baskets and some books. I try to really curate my library of books because I'm a big reader, but I always end up getting like gifts of books that I've either already read or something, but I'm gonna go ahead and do a mini purge. And I'm also gonna get rid of extras, like the extra rug that I have just rolled up in a closet because it's a nice rug and I paid money for it, but there's no place in my house right now to put it, but it's just rolled up in my closet. I'm gonna sell that sucker. I'm also gonna go through that hell closet right there, which is what Jacob and I call it. It is filled with things that I found at like yard sales for a really good deal, or like things that fit in previous apartments that don't go here. A lot of like video stuff is in there, and a lot of like duplicates and extras, and also all my hopes and dreams, and all of it needs to go. So I'm gonna be at FinCon for the first week of September, but I'm going to hit this hard as soon as I get back. As you can see, I already have a bunch of items picked out that I need to photograph and list online and make a pile. I will be keeping a list of the things that I have sold or gotten rid of, and I'm also going to set a goal of $300. I hope to make $300 from this, which will go to my house down payment fund. All right, I hope that you are in. Comment down below that you are in. You're gonna do sell stuff September, even if it's just like one thing that you already thought of that you know is not serving you anymore and needs to get out of your house. Commit to selling that this month, and maybe that will snowball into selling a bunch of stuff this month and having a whole bunch of money to go do stuff with. And go ahead and comment what that one thing is, because I'm really curious. For me, it's that camera that's been sitting in there for 2 years that I've known I need to sell. All right, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more frugal inspiration. Let's go sell some stuff and make some money. Yeah, bye. I'm just kidding, y'all. I didn't make this much money off of Sell Stuff September. This is what I took out to buy a new car. It is really fun to hold. There is a Maggie puppy trying to eat cords, and unplug my little salt lamp. It's a troublemaker. Look at that troublemaker. So wake us up at 5 a.m. Love you.